Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Jazzy. And today I'm gonna tell you guys a very crazy story that happened recently. It is very insane, and you know, the title and the thumbnail are not clickbait, you know, it is exactly what you guys read. Now before I get into it, I am getting old, guys, you know, I'm becoming an old man, I'm ancient, my back hurts, I am craving prune juice, I'm starting to find white hairs on my head, you know. I am getting old, but if my memory doesn't fail me completely, I recorded a video a few years ago, quite a while back, talking about my fear of driving. I'm pretty sure that was what this video was about, you know. And man, 2017, I think, you know, everything was so rudimentary. And I talked a little bit about, you know, why I don't like to drive, why I'm afraid, you know. There are some not childhood traumas, no, thank God. But there's like how can I say, there's a history, there's a family history of accidents in my family, you know, of car accidents, motorcycle accidents, you know, all these kinds of automobile related accidents and whatnot. So it's always made me a little afraid of driving, you know. It's always made me just a little weary, you know. I've never really wanted to try to pick up on it, but I do understand that it's a necessity, you know. I'm actually starting to save up money for driving lessons this year, you know. Actually this month I'm gonna start, you know, if all goes well, and in a few months, you know, get my license and then buy another car. Yes, another car, because I already have one which I bought, but I can't drive it. Allow me to explain this crazy story full of twists and turns. So here's the thing. Recently, my father had to change cars. He works as an Uber driver, and his car had already come up on 10 years of use. So he had to buy a new one, a more modern one, so he could actually continue to work as an Uber. So here's the thing. Him and my mother, they took their money, they took their savings and bought a new car. You know, they bought a 2016 white Chevrolet Onyx. It's actually really beautiful. Very nice car. I'm gonna put a photo of it here for you guys to see. Looks nice, huh? That's my car. So the thing is that this car here, like when I say that it's mine, here's the thing. They bought it with their money, you know, they went into the dealership, I went with them. However, the car is under my name. So because here in Brazil, they have this thing where you can buy something under your name for somebody else. You know, I don't think it works in other countries, but here, this is how it is. It's completely legal, obviously. So I actually went there because I have a cleaner slate than they do, you know, in terms of bureaucracy and that kind of thing, registry and documentation, you know, they used my name to buy the car. So this car that you guys just saw, this white Chevrolet Onyx, this beautiful new car, is actually mine. It technically and legally belongs to me. So I do have a car that's in my name and it is mine. So if the day that I get a license, I said if ever, that's just pessimistic. When I do get my license, I will be able to drive it completely legally because it does belong to me, you know. But I don't have a license yet, so I can't drive it. So, in case you guys missed it, in case it flew over your head, I have a car. My dad uses it to work, but it is my car and I literally cannot drive it because I don't have a license. Now, this is very ironic on a number of levels because it does make me want to conquer my fear of driving, you know. But of course, when I do get my license, you know, I'm going to have to buy a new car, have to buy another one, a third one, because me and my family, I don't live with my parents, but they do have their own 2 cars at the garage that I'm welcome to use whenever I get whenever I need to, once I get my license, you know. But having a third one, which is actually completely mine, is going to be obviously much more useful because I can use it, you know, however the hell I want to. And I think it's going to be nice to finally get behind the wheel, you know, because driving really is something that's very convenient. It really helps you out a lot, you know, and it just makes life easier in general. So that's why it's one of the reasons that I want to conquer this fear, you know, climb this mountain and finally get my damn license. Now, the thing with this story that I think is actually funny is that, like, I tell people now that I have a car, you know, but they wonder why I'm not using it, you know, and I have to explain this whole story, the whole background to it, you know. And it's actually a very nice car. It's nice and modern. It's really good, although it's a bit it's a little hard to drive, you know. I think it's like it still has a manual stick shift. No, a stick shift is a different thing, isn't it? A manual shift, manual gear, that kind of thing. You know, if I had the option to, I would prefer to get a car that's just automatic, you know. I think most cars today are automatic. It just makes it easier to drive. But there is something a little more challenging and also satisfying in driving a manual car, you know. I think that a stick shift is a little bit different, you know. Not entirely sure what that's like, but anyway, the point is that I have to learn how to drive because another reason is my routine, you know, because I'm working, you know, a little over 150 hours a month, you know, and I teach a lot of classes during the day, throughout the week, even on the weekends, you know. So, and in the mornings I have to go on foot to my job, my first job, teaching informatics at a school, and I have to walk under the hot ass sun, and it's not exactly close, you know, it's pretty far. I live a little towards I live pretty far away from the center of town, you know, in a place where there are just houses, you know, and hills and stuff, and I have to walk all the way down to the town center to teach a class and then come all the way back. So obviously if I had a car, this journey would be much easier and a lot more enjoyable, that's for sure. And of course it would save me a lot of time. I could wake up a little bit later, you know, I could take more time, you know, I could probably get down there in 10 minutes or so. So it would definitely be much more enjoyable, and also a lot of other things in general, you know, because if you drive, like if you go to the supermarket, for example, you can go at any time you want and you can buy a lot of stuff and put it in a car and just go home, you know, versus me having to go to the market many different times throughout the day and throughout the week and buying different things, you know, so I don't buy too many heavy things in bulk to carry all the way home, you know. It's aggravating. It is really aggravating. A couple of years ago, I actually lived in the town center, like what? A few steps away from my job, you know. I live literally right next to my job, but that house was really crappy compared to the one that I'm living in now. I still haven't given you guys a tour, have I? I think I should do that at one point, record a little video showing my house. I have never done that, and I've been living here for a while now, and I remember promising that video back when I first came here. But anyway, the point is, guys, that it's gonna take a while for me to get my license, you know. First, I'm gonna start driving lessons this month, and hopefully I can finish it in maybe 3 to 4 months or so, which will give me enough time to save up a lot of money and buy another car for myself, you know. Everything here in Brazil is expensive, especially vehicles, you know, electronics, things of the sort. So it takes a while to save up to buy a car, you know. Obviously, my first car is gonna be used, you know. It's gonna be a cheap car. It's not gonna be a damn Volkswagen Beetle or something, you know. It's not gonna be like that, but it will be a decent car, at least decent by standards here in this country, you know. So I'm aiming for that right now, you know, and it's gonna be nice to record some YouTube videos, you know, driving. Not like me, obviously I'm not gonna be on my phone or my camera driving, but I meant like, you know, having a friend, you know, you know, in the passenger seat filming me driving, you know. It's gonna be nice to do some videos like that, like old style Smosh, you know, where they do the lunchtime with Smosh, where they record each other driving and stuff. So it's gonna be nice. No, like so many different options, you know, come to my mind when I think about having a car. And because I'm almost 30, you know, it feels like I should have gotten my license a long time ago. Somebody's calling me and I don't care who it is. So when I'm recording a video, you know, only if it's like a family member, you know, with an emergency, that's when I answer my phone. But the point is that so many options open up when you have your own car to drive. You know, you can do so many things. You can, you know, you can give rides to your friends and stuff, pick people up and take them places, you know. So obviously it's a privilege that, you know, a lot of people do have and some don't. But I really think that I should have given myself this privilege a long time ago. And my fear, my phobia, you know, I have anxiety, guys. So certain things stress me out to a much heavier degree than others, you know. So I think it's time for me to finally face my fears. Now, regarding my actual car, my Chevrolet Onix, you know, my dad uses it to drive. He has to actually work, you know, so he uses it every single day, you know, so I don't think that I would have too much free time to spend with that baby, you know. Of course, occasionally I would like to take it out for a spin, you know. It would be nice to, you know, drive around with the new Chevrolet Onix, you know, be like, look at the ladies and be like, hey, it's the chassis, you know. It's oh my god, like I feel the cringe myself in me when I do that, you know. I understand that it really sucks, but the point is, guys, that driving opens up so many doors, you know, and those of you who actually do drive, you understand what I mean, you know. And even if it's not, you don't have the most modern car in the world, it's still a car. It gets you from A to B, you know. Of course, because we're in 2021, I do have certain standards for cars. I want to have a nice one at least, you know, that also happens to fall within my budget. That would also be nice. So I'm not gonna try to buy a Mitsubishi or a damn Corvette or something. Okay, the Corvette is too much. You know what? Funny enough, I don't understand too much about cars, but I've never really felt the need to have a car like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or something, you know, or a McLaren. Like, I don't really know why. Thank you. I don't like people like Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player or the football player, you know, whatever country you live in. He is like renowned for having a lot of different cars in his garages, you know. And if I had the money to buy a car like that, I wouldn't, because it's uncomfortable. I've actually gone inside these cars before. More on that later. I'll explain how I got a ride in these cars. But like when I went inside them, I was a kid, so it was actually pretty cool. But today, as an adult, you know, who's like probably 6'1" or something, or 5'11", 5'12", you know, I'm a pretty tall guy, so a car like this would be uncomfortable to me. I like a car that has room, you know. I don't mean like a truck or a Hummer or something, but I like to have a car that actually has a decent amount of room, you know. So I don't know, maybe a Jeep or something, you know, one of those fancy Jeeps that could actually be good for camping, you know. You take a lot of stuff, you know, you go traveling with your family and stuff, you know. I like a car with a big trunk, you know. So I don't really think that if you gave me like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, just gave it to me for free, I would probably sell it to buy a more decent car and a mansion and a yacht, because the damn thing costs that much, you know. So like, I don't think I would be very comfortable in a car like that, you know. Like, it'd be nice if you have a girlfriend, you want to go out with her to these places and show off, you know. But I'm not really a big fan of showing off too much, you know. I don't really, I'm a very down-to-earth person, you know. So I prefer, even if I was famous and had a lot of money, I just buy the car that I like, you know, the car that I actually want. Like, there's no necessity to have such a fancy car, you know. Same thing with the house. Like, I wouldn't have to buy a mansion if I live by myself, you know. I prefer apartments over houses anyway, so, you know, there's also that there. But in general, guys, I think that's really it. Like, that's all I wanted to say, you know, give you guys a little background about this new achievement of mine, this accomplishment, you know, buying a vehicle that I can't even drive, at least not yet. But, you know, God willing, I'm gonna get my license still this year, and I'm gonna be taking all these cars in the city for a spin. It's gonna be awesome. But anyway, that's it. Just wanted to give you guys that short story about what happened, you know. And hope you guys enjoyed. You found it funny and entertaining, you know, and it's a true story based on real facts, man. Freaking awesome. I might try to show you guys the car one day if I can record a video with it, around it, in it, of it, whatever. I'll see what I can do, all right? But for now, that's it. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in my next video. Drive safe.